that little Chico Pitbull, Mr. 305, better said Mr. Worldwide. Put it down right now with DJ Anarchy and the Tropical Takeover. Globalization, Channel 13. Dale.
This is the Tropical Takeover show with yours truly, DJ Anarchy. And you already know this is the show where I feature all the hottest artists from all around the globe. And joining me today, I got a very special guest who is no stranger to the global mainstream charts. With his mega hit, Fallen, I just want to officially welcome to the Tropical Takeover show, TREVOR Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What's good, man? Happy New Year. How are you feeling?
Happy New Year. It's good. This year's been great so far. So hopefully everything just keeps going. I believe it will. So
how did you actually ring in the new year?
Well, I had COVID. It wasn't bad, but I couldn't really go out and do anything. So I just kicked it here with my girl since we both had COVID, and we just built furniture and shelves and all this stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much kind of all we did, to be honest with you. And we ordered some sushi and everything. So we were just chilling.
That sounds like a perfect pandemic love story.
Yeah, it was cool. It definitely could have been worse, but I don't think either of us were really that sick, so it was all good.
So TREVOR, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you from Houston?
Yeah, I'm from Houston. Yeah, I just moved out to LA in 2018. So, but it's been kind of back and forth. But I've been here for the most part since 2018.
So when I actually found out about Fallen, right, and I heard, hey, he's from Houston. Man, I started going hard on the track. I started playing it at all my gigs, and I could have actually related to it too, because I was going through some personal stuff. You know what I mean? So here I am, dope track like Fallen, and he's from Houston, man. I was telling everybody, hey, TREVOR Daniel, I was going hard on it, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So again, congrats to all your success on Fallen and everything, man. So let's rewind a little bit, and I'm going to ask you a question I love asking all my guests. How and when did you decide to take your musical journey seriously?
I feel like it was kind of like a few different events that kind of built up to it. I always liked music and everything, but in high school, I played football and everything, and then I guess when I transferred schools, they didn't accept some of my credits. They were going to put me in this thing called credit recovery. So I wasn't going to be able to do athletics. So I would get off of school way earlier because I wasn't at practice or anything. So I just started recording myself. And I had this stick microphone. It was I don't really know how to explain it. It's the lowest quality microphone you could possibly find. It's a piece of plastic, and I would wrap a sock around it and just record in my closet. And that really got things started as far as just recording stuff. I somehow convinced my dad to let me go to homeschool, so that was tight because I graduated early. So I just started recording all the time. That's all I did. And yeah, that's pretty much just where it happened. And then I was working part-time jobs and stuff, and then coming home and recording. And then in 2017, Hurricane Harvey hit, and I wasn't really thinking anything was gonna happen. I was just we're everything's probably good, but we're gonna the water is definitely rising. I just kind of took my music equipment and just the things that I was well, I can't lose this stuff. Yeah, then my apartment flooded. And then I remember going back, I rode this little canoe back into the apartment. I just remember sitting there thinking damn, this is kind of crazy. I'm seeing this and I'm perfectly okay with what had just happened. And I realized it was because I had my music stuff, and I was damn, this is really all I care about for real. That's when I just started doing everything 100%. Thankfully, it worked out. So
yes, sir, it sure did. It definitely did. And everyone who's actually looking at you now, right now they see all the success, all the fame and everything, but they don't really see the struggle, right? So My question is, what are some of the struggles / roadblocks you faced in the early stages of your career? Now, I know you just mentioned, your apartment getting flooded and everything, but were there any other obstacles you faced?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I feel like it gets talked about, but it gets looked over a little bit. It's just like nobody really like understanding what you're doing. Growing up, like, and then you say you want to do music or like something creative where it's just like not a lot of people like get the opportunity to hit the breaking point where like things really take off. There's a lot of doubt and stuff like surrounding that. So it's, even if people are unintentionally doing it, I think there's a lot of like, yo, like this is unrealistic. This is unrealistic. You hear that all the time. So it's like a mental battle in itself, like trying to be positive and like manifest good things, and just like keep going with it. I think that's like a really difficult thing. And then also music equipment, that shit's expensive, bro. So that's like a thing too. But there's just like, I think mostly it's just like the mental hurdles of getting over like people doubting you, or if you try something and then people have their opinion on it. And then it's just like really trying to stay true to yourself when like all you're hearing, like for a while, it always seems like negativity. People don't like see like things happen all the time. So like naturally they're gonna like feel some type of way about it. And from some people, it's like coming from a place of love. They want to make sure you like build a career or whatever. And then like other people, some people are just haters, but like, you gotta like decipher that at the same time. It's like a weird thing, but it's mostly just the mental hurdle of like trying to, stay believing in yourself when it feels like nobody else is.
Yes, sir. Trust me, I could totally relate with you, and I totally feel your pain, because I myself, I left the islands, the Caribbean island, Trinidad and Tobago, to come to Houston all alone to pursue my musical dream. And trust me, I went through it, bro.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of discouragement. People close to me, they were like in disbelief. As you say, from a place of love, they were like, man, are you sure you're going to leave your good job to go over there in an unknown territory to do that?
Right.
So I totally feel you, man. So Trevor, now we're going to get to the good stuff. How did you become famous, and when did you taste your first real major success?
I made Falling. I linked up with the Internet Money crew, and that was dope because I learned how to make beats and stuff from watching their tutorials online. And I really had like a place in my heart for like the whole Internet Money scene, because before then there wasn't really like many tutorials online teaching people how to do things. Like I feel like everybody was kind of secretive and everything. Now there's tutorials on like whatever you need to know. So that's good. Like it definitely sparked a lot of growth in like music and everything. So like we linked up. The first or second song we made was Falling. Like in the first night, for sure, it was the first night. We made it in like 2 hours, and like everybody in the room was like hyped on it. I think I was just a little tired of my voice at the time because I've been hearing my voice all day. But then the next day I woke up, which is the true test. I think you wake up and you just kind of like hear what you did yesterday and like with fresh ears. And then I was like, oh, we made this, you know what I mean? This is tight. And so like fast forward like a year later, I'm out in LA just chilling at an Airbnb. And then my friend comes over and she's like, yo, have you seen what's happening with your song on TikTok? And I'll have these periods where I'll like ghost my phone or like social media and just lock in the studio. And like my phone's on airplane mode. I won't turn it off for days sometimes. So I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening, but thankfully somebody found it, and like it just started trending on TikTok, and I had no idea like what was happening. And I guess I had a TikTok, but I deleted it, but I never posted anything. I didn't even have a profile picture. And then I sent it to my manager. I'm like, yo, this TikTok thing, like something's happening. And we looked at stats and everything. It was like going up. And I was just like, wait, what? I didn't even have posts on Instagram. Like I had wiped my Instagram. I don't think was like a good call, but at the time I was justifying it. I literally had like nothing on the internet. Things started popping off, and it was really fast. It kind of went from me just sitting in this Airbnb to like going all the time, you know? So that was really cool because I felt like my musical opinion was taken more serious too, which I think was probably the coolest part, just because I could like voice my opinion in a studio like more confidently. Then when things took off, like I just noticed, like I was like, damn, this is really happening. Like, and then I was thinking back to all this stuff I was talking about earlier, just like actually honing in and then locking in. It really can happen kind of for anybody. Like if you really just like, you know, there's like a bunch of pieces to the puzzle. You got to have like the dedication, and then like you can't listen to haters and everything. But all these things were flowing through my mind. I'm like, damn, we did that, bro. Like that's crazy. So yeah, it was super cool. We did some shows, they sold out, and that was wild. Because before those shows, I'd probably performed in front of like 40 people max. And that was a big show for me, 40 people. And then we did these shows and they sold out, like the Roxy and things like that, which is just like a cool venue in LA to sell out, you know, just because it's been here forever. Like, so that was tight. And then we put some shows out there, and then COVID happened, but like still all this good stuff was happening and everything. So it was really cool to see all that. And, you know, it feels like things have taken a pause for a little bit, you know, throughout the world. Like, and at first I was kind of bummed about it, but like now I'm seeing it as like, damn, I had all this time to really hone in on what I want to do next.
Yes, sir. And I think, you know, another reason too is because, you know, as I was actually mentioning early, Fallen is a totally relatable song. You know, like I actually was going through some stuff, you know, so I was out there in the streets playing it, going ham on, you know what I mean? On Fallen. So yeah, representing and everything.
I really appreciate that, bro.
You know, and here you are with another super duper mega hit called Alone. Again, another very relatable song, you know. You care to share a little bit about Alone, how it came about and what's the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, the original song that I interpolated is Better Off Alone by Alice DJ. I just grew up listening to that song all the time just because the melody was so catchy, and I don't really know how it got started, but I've probably listened to that song once a week, like for real, like throughout my entire life. Like, so that song was like stuck. And then I was on the way to the studio, and I never really worked with the guys who produced it. I was just like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be a good session or if it's just going to be weird or whatever. So I was in the car and I was listening to something, My Head and My Heart, like Ava Max came on, and I was like, oh, like this is just like an interpolation of All Around the World. And I was like that's tight. Like I want to do that. So yeah, I went in the studio. I was like, yo, we should interpolate Better Off Alone. Like, let's do it. And then we made it. And then it's not like a crazy story or anything, but I feel like, you know, it really related to me as far as like responding back to that song almost, like Better Off Alone. Like, because in the original, it's like, do you think you're better off alone? And at the time, I was going through a breakup when I wrote the song. It was like the longest breakup of my life. It took forever. It was kind of like a response because I was like listening to it, and I was like, I kind of do think I am, you know? Like, I'm just like tired of dealing with this drama type of situation. Like, so that's kind of like where that song came from. But I definitely, that didn't really last long, you know? I mean, it lasted a minute, but it didn't like last too long. Like, it's kind of hard to like give up on the idea of love. So, you know what I mean? So,
at least for now, you're better off alone. Well, at least for now, I'm actually better off alone because I'm actually single right now. So I'm going to be going ham in the streets for Alone too. That's going to be my morning anthem.
That's good. That's good.
So Trevor, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have you officially introduce Alone right now on the Tropical Takeover show with yours truly, DJ Anarchy, on Pitbull's Globalization, SiriusXM channel 13. Take it away.
Yo, what's up? This is Trevor Daniel on SiriusXM Tropical Takeover show with DJ Anarchy, and this is my song Alone. Hope you enjoy it.
DJ Anarchy.